Hi, I'm Brian Fluff and Stuff Lee. I play for Team Liquid and I'm from Palos Verdes, California. Last year I took a year off to compete in the International 2. This year I decided to go at it again because it was the experience of a lifetime. I really enjoyed TI2.
My name is Sam Sosale. My ID is Boba, and I am from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Currently, I'm in my 4th year at UNC Chapel Hill. I'm doing a double major in biology and political science. I'm going to graduate on December.
This year we went to China, we went to Sweden, and now we're at the international, and it's all happened within 3 or 4 months. I think that the competition is much more fierce. There's less of a barrier between the European teams and the Chinese team, so anybody can take it this year.
I think we're holding on to a lot of our strengths from before. I think that obviously we were really aggressive back then, so we hope to end the game by the mid-game.
Yeah, I was really surprised by the audience's interaction with the gameplay. You eat a tango and everyone goes nuts. It was perfect.
Winning this year's international would mean everything that you've wanted to live for just comes true, and that's something you have to hold on to if you want to have the mental strength to stay in this competition and do well.
Yeah, my dad, he looks at this experience and he's really proud of me. The main thing he wants me to take from this is not to take myself too seriously and really just enjoy the moment, because this is something that's really incredible.
Sam Sosale, Boba, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Michael Gannum, IX Mike 88, Livonia, Michigan.
Stephen Ashworth, Korok, Richmond, Virginia.
Tyler Cook, TC, Calgary, Canada.
Brian Lee, Fluff, Palos Verdes, California.
Team Liquid then, an amazing team looking for an amazing experience, and come away with hopefully a win if you're a supporter of Team Liquid. And Korok, TC, Fluff and Stuff, IX Mike and Bulba are the 5 members that completed the team. So what can you tell us about Team Liquid?
Apparently IX Mike is Danish. I didn't know. I'm so thrilled about us still having a shot at the international, aside from no-tail. I was talking to IX Mike one of the other days, and his dad actually texted him after the group stage, just pack your shit and come home. He was so disappointed in Mike. So I really hope they win this game, because I don't want to see him go home to wherever he's from and get a beat down by his pops.
Yeah, even though they're like a relatively newer team, they've only been around for maybe 8 or 9 months. They do have a lot of veterans on their team. I think Korok was at TI before Bulba as well. So they definitely do have potential. I must say they looked a lot stronger earlier in 2013, and right now they're not really at their peak.
So Bruno, what do you reckon? Is IX Mike's domestic motivation going to get him through?
Well, if it's smells said, it's going to be tough, and I'm really going to be cheering for
I mean,
them.
is he wearing shades because he's cool?
Or maybe he's hiding something. Who knows? What I know is that I can't help but cheer for this guy, because he's one of the guys that brought the Spirit Breaker into the meta game. We only saw it 1 game in this tournament, didn't win. But if he wins, it's going to be 2 games in an international that has a Spirit Breaker, which is 100% increase compared to last year, which is something that I'm looking forward to. But other than that, this team, I think they still haven't shown what their full potential is, and what best way to show it than in a match where you actually have to win or have to win.
I just think they're a great team in a best of 1. I think they're so diverse. Their support players are just really overall solid, and
Fluff and Stuff is like one of the best supports in
with
all
IX
the...
Mike. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see what they have for us, and it will be maybe scary for their opponents, which is of course MUFC.
Hi, my name is Chan Lit Bin. My in-game name is Winter, and I'm from Team Invasion MUFC. I think I'm the person in the team which I'm the only one that wants to play one more game, and everyone wants to rest. The Western scene has improved a lot compared to last year. Teams like Dignitas, Liquid, they like to play really greedy. Being able to play greedy and choosing when to play greedy so you don't get punished is very important in the current draft. Every update, every patch, there's always different things to look out for, and I think the very main important part is the ability to adapt. Every time we lose, we learn something, and every small bit of change affects the draft and strategies that a team can use. Originally, 2 months was the most optimal time for us to boot camp together, but in the end, we only had like 5 weeks. Basically, our boss just told us not to screw up. My girlfriend said that even though you lost this year, don't be too heartbroken. You can always try next time. I'll still be here. Winning the international means that I could retire very happily, and I'll try try and propose to my girlfriend again.
Charlie Bin, Winter, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Daniel Wong, TFG, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Sim Wee Chung, Ling, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Siêu Thanh Ho, FCYY, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Jun Liang Lo, WTF, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
So MUFC, 5 members representing Malaysia here. They have Winter in their team, so already kind of a little bit of a fan favourite. We've all seen Winter's play, but so far in the prelims they did not perform whatsoever. So from here on out it's going to be tough. They have to win every game. I think they can do it, but I also know with the team they probably had some tough times after the prelims, some talks, and some at least getting the team ready to go for the main event here on day 2.
We've been talking a lot about how all of these teams in the loser bracket has nothing to lose and can bring out some kind of cheesy strategy, and I really think that holds true also for Zenith and Virtus Pro. Whoever comes out on top in that matchup can very well bring something completely new to the game when they face off against IG.
LG or LG, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So regardless of which team proceeds, I think they can easily upset one of these two Chinese juggernauts with going some insane whack strategy. We might even see 5-man mid. I think that particular strat might be very unlikely, but
yeah, but like what kind of team are MUFC to you? What kind of team are they? How do they play?
Unfortunately, I didn't really see them much in the preliminaries, but they did have some cool plays. I saw one really nice play. They had Wisp Keeper Light, kind of like pre-6.78 heroes, but what they did was the Wisp relocated someone out to save them, and then they were just sitting in the fountain. I was like, oh man, they were all just sitting there waiting on the little dot, waiting for him to die, and they actually recalled him at the exact timing, and he just like popped in and immediately popped out without even taking any damage. And we were like, what? Where did the Wisp go? We thought like the relocate bugged out, but they have some pretty cool strategies. I hope they bust them out for this though. This is the time to do it.
Well, if I'm looking at MUFC in general, I'm trying to see what can help them, but I can tell you what can't help them, because I'm checking. You're 0-4 with Rubik, 0-3 with Shadow Demon, Lifestealer, Furion, Alchemist, Visage, Whistle Maiden, and Bad Rider. Stay away from that heroes. Try something different.
So basically, stay away from everything that's popular in this tournament. And
pretty much.
Go with the space cow?
Go with it's too mainstream.
Too mainstream.
You have to go with Necrolite.
Could be good. All right, we're about ready to go into the game. So just quickly, guys, predictions on who's going to win and why.
Liquid, because they're simply the better team.
MUFC, because they will bring something crazy, and just Liquid will not know how to react to it.
Liquid, because I think they're demoralized from not even winning a single game yet.
All right.
Or MUFC's not.
We'll see how this goes. All I can tell you is I know for a fact MUFC will have at least a strategy, something they've practiced that no one has seen yet in the tournament. Team Liquid are very diverse. They should be able to hold their own against any kind of strategy, so it's going to be a super interesting game. So we're going to throw it over to the hall for Team Liquid versus MUFC.
Team Liquid versus Invasion MUFC.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to our very first best of one of the day. 4 teams are going home today. Either Liquid or MUFC will be one of the first, and the crowd is definitely here in force for the hometown favorite, Team Liquid. But they've got a team up against them, MUFC, something to prove for them. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Luminous. And Lumi, the draft has gotten pretty interesting already.
I'm liking the fact that every time we sit down here to open our matchup, we have Wisp first, or as EO, I, or 10, whatever you call it. Wisp near there in our heart, and again, what I repeat from yesterday, this hero is broken. Now, Team Liquid, they were kind of talking in the analyst table, what heroes are they picking? You know, there's the Space Cows, there's Necrolites, there's 5 solo mid-strats. I'm expecting Ursa. It's something they brought up in the earlier games in the group stage. It goes really, really well with Wisp, and I think it's going to do great here today.
It's something they actually ran so successfully that Orange Esports lost to it and then picked it the next match and destroyed their opponents with it. So Ursa, definitely a hero on the rise. It goes pretty well with the Wisp in the mid game, but Orange, or rather MUFC, they know that Liquid likes the Wisp. They've won a lot of games within the group stage. If you're giving it away, you have a strategy. Whether it will work or not is up for debate, but they give away the Wisp. They'll start it off with a Nature's Prophet and a Rubik, and now the question becomes, how will Liquid respond?
Well, I think you want to focus on heroes that aren't Ursa first, because I think that's a very safe last pick. Nobody really would touch that hero. Make sure you have strong lanes. I think really, I kind of agree with some of the analysts out there that Team Liquid is just the more stable team. They're the better team. So just make sure you have very stable lanes. Pick heroes like Darkseer, for example, who's banned out. Make sure that you just don't lose a lane, and you should be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I did have a chance to speak to Winter as well, and not only was he disappointed in those games, but he really felt like he had something to prove coming to this match, and the rest of his team did. Liquid will reply with an OD, a very strong laning hero, so they get a dominant solo mid if that's how they want to run it, which generally we've seen TC taking over that role, but MUFC out to prove something here. Honestly, the beauty and sort of the pain of this format is it doesn't matter how good or how bad your group stage was. Once you get to the main event, you erase all that, you are where you are in the brackets, you fight on from there. So MUFC, sure, they went 0-14, they pull a clever strategy out of their hat, they bait Liquid into something that Liquid wasn't ready for, and suddenly MUFC could be moving on.
I know both of us, it's hard for both of us, right? Because we're friends with
we're conflicted.
We're friends with Team Liquid members, and obviously we're friends with Winter, who do a lot of broadcasts with us, so let's hope that for both sakes, we're going to have a great game. Let's not see a stomp here.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this one goes the distance. We had a very long game earlier between IG and DK. Hey, best of one, teams are not going to give up until they are thoroughly beaten, so if it's close, it could go for a while. There is a Razor pickup now, banned now by Team Liquid. We're entering the second stage of the bans. The Chen was banned out by MUFC, one of Fluff and Stuff signatures. Where do you think these teams go next?
I think MUFC have to strike the iron on the top. Like, just go hard early. Don't allow them to kind of stabilize. OD is a very, very hard thing to crack, because we really still haven't figured out what is the hero that beat him mid.
Well, I think Razor is that hero, and that hero's been banned.
Yep. So you gotta keep in mind that since Wisp is also picked on the Radiant side, you could also pull the mid lane as well to that level 1 neutral cap, and that's gonna even allow OD to win harder. So I don't know what MUFC is gonna bring out, but it's gotta be something special.
Yeah, Winter, again, he said he had a few strategies prepared, and I don't know which one he had in mind here, but the bans will continue. We'll have to see if they go for anything particularly unusual. So far, it looks like a pretty standard draft from MUFC. Giving away Wisp, though. I mean, you gotta figure there is something up their sleeve. We still haven't seen what it is, though.
Well, they're gonna ban out with Nyx Assassin, another hero that could kind of bring the mid game. You could be winning so hard, and then you die to like 3 Nyx ganks, and suddenly the game goes the other way. So I like these bans. They're dangerous mid-game heroes, or hero that counter OD, for example, in the lane. So OD, I think, continuing to go with a strategy that you focus on your lanes, and then you go from there.
Yeah, as for MUFC's good ban coming out here, they removed the Chen. We'll have to see if they want to remove the Enchantress as well, because Fluff is definitely one of those jungler players that can play both.
He loves to go Enchantress, Midas first, just AFK jungle, comes out with Acceptor and Scythe, and you suddenly have 4 carries in a sense.
Yeah, especially the Wisp. I mean, give that Enchantress anything, and she'll take it a long way. For MUFC, generally when you're up against an OD, in the mid-game, one of the best ways to deal with him is to get mass BKBs. We've seen a lot of other teams have success with that in the past. If you're MUFC, is that something you think you go for here? Obviously against Wisp, it'll be strong as well. It does block the tether stun.
I mean, I think you go with heroes that could easily go into a BKB, for example. Nature's Prophet, we have seen teams and players actually go with BKB.
Yeah, I think Bulldog's a great example.
Sure.
Usually, almost always gets the farm and does like to go for the BKB.
Yep. You know, there's the MUFC special.
What is it? Faceless Void?
Faceless Void. He goes BKB as well. And I think Faceless Void, I mean, deals with heroes like OD. Maybe not so good against the Astral Imprisonment, but definitely good against heroes like Ursa, which I do expect Team Liquid to pick up here.
Now, we do enter the second stage of the draft. MUFC are on the dire side, so the Ursa pick, obviously, it's still a strong hero regardless, but one of the nice extra things about him is if you have Ursa on the dire, you can really threaten that level 1 Roche. We've seen Alliance play around with that before in the group stages, so MUFC on the dire side, if Liquid want to go Ursa, it's in the pool, but I do feel he's not quite as strong on Radiant as he is on Dire.
Yeah, I really like MUFC's draft here. They're saying Team Liquid with the 2 heroes so far, they're not really good at defending towers. Nature's Prophet as well as Leshrac, if you get some early momentum going, like you go for a first blood, you get a hero pickoff, you suddenly could lose 1 tower and maybe sustain like half the HP on your second tower. So I think this is very aggressive. Team Liquid answers back with the Beastmaster.
Liquid still not really putting their cards on the table here. I think the big question is what's going to be paired up with that Wisp. You can pair anything, but it's always interesting to see Fuzzy Wuzzy still in the pool. If he makes it through to the end, we just might see it. But MUFC already starting to reveal their plan, which is going to be pretty heavy push. Dragon Knight, Nature's Prophet, and Leshrac, all very strong pushers. It looks to be a safe lane Prophet, a mid DK, and then probably an aggressive trialing, maybe a dual roam strategy. But they want to take these towers fast. And And Liquid, they've got a little bit of spam coming out from the Beastmaster, but aside from that, they need more counter push.
This is looking like an off-lane Beastmaster, which means that he's not going to pick up too many levels, and that's going to be a concern as the push is coming. With that said, though, OD is going to devour that Dragon Knight on the mid lane, because what is he really going to do with no mana? And there you go.
Fuzzy Wuzzy has been selected.
You cannot spell Ursa without USA.
The bear is out.
Yep. And of course, we're going to see, I mean, Ursa against Dragon Knight, you just get that Fairy Swipe going, especially with Overcharge and Tether. Yeah, that Dragon Knight is going down. So now we have multiple ways. First, OD says, I don't care about your armor. I have spells to go through it. I have my orb to go through it. Ursa says, yeah, nice armor. And of course, Beastmaster, if that Dragon Knight ever goes out of trouble, out of hand, you just lock him down.
It's a best of one. You can run whatever strat you want. If it's creative, if it catches your opponents off guard, maybe it's the difference. And MUFC clearly want to push. They ban out the Keeper of the Light. A pretty good mobility hero, but mainly banned out here for his counter push. Now a Tinker remove for Liquid, actually. So they'll go Omni Knight. It's not the full Knight strat from Team EG, but it is a very strong 5-man Dota hero and can make Ursa very sad once he hits 6.
Historically, Omni Knight, I mean, on paper, he's one of the best hero in the entire game, because you got heal, you free BKB for allies, and of course your ultimate's absolutely broken.
Immune to physical damage.
Immune to Ursa. But how do you lane this particular hero? Nobody has really figured it out in the past. I mean, historically, we've seen the old school Meet Your Maker back in Dota 1 has played some sick Omni Knight, and I'm sure Melk is out there smiling. But how do you lane this hero? And I think that's really a big issue with Omni Knight.
Yeah, I mean, wherever you put him, he's not going to have the best time. I suppose you could put him in the safe lane 1v1 against the Beastmaster. If that's the lane that Liquid run, it's probably your best matchup. But regardless of who you put there, then that throws Prophet in the jungle, and it means you're not going aggressive. If they want to go aggressive tri-lane, any combination of these heroes pretty much puts someone into a bad position. Prophet will have a bad time against OD mid, so will DK, so will Omni Knight. So, like you said, the laning will be a concern, but in the mid game, he's great against Ursa. He also gives your team the much stronger 5-man for some stages, and if you time that ult just right, it can be a big game changer.
Also, another concern for Omni Knight, aside from laning, is his mana pool. His mana pool is already quite weak. You need to get a ton of mana items, like an Arcane Boot, like a Soul Ring, and you're dealing with OD, so if he's to zap you once with an Astral Imprisonment, you're kind of out of the mana for all your spells. So that's another worry. And now Crystal Maiden for Team Liquid. This is very, very offensive coming out from TL, and I think we might even see the offensive tri-lane.
We saw earlier today what Ake was able to do with Crystal Maiden for Team Alliance. I actually had a chance to speak to Black during that game, and he said Crystal Maiden is broken if you know how to use her. Ake knew how to use her. Will Liquid? We're about to find out. It's time to get into this best of one. The picks are out. The game's about to start. Lumi, how do you like the drafts?
I love the draft. We have Omni Knight, we have Ursa, heroes that we haven't seen too often, and guess what? Omni Knight's being played by WTF. Traditionally, they're one-row players, so this is as hard carry as an Omni Knight as you could possibly get.
Yeah, Dave, the carry Omni. Is it time for a Radiant Sanjin Yasha?
I don't
Basher. We'll have to wait and see. Winter has told me repeatedly that he loves to farm, so will he be successful? We're about to find out. The players now select up their heroes. Bulba's onto the Beastmaster. TC's going to take the OD mid. We'll do the official introductions in just a moment, but I'm excited, buddy.
I am very excited as well. Of course, on your Radiant side, Team Liquid. TC is going to be playing your OD. We have Boba on that Beastmaster. Fluff and Stuff on one of his favorite heroes. Wisp. We have IXMike88 on Crystal Maiden. Last but not least, Korok is on the Ursa. I think he's going mid here.
Yeah, he very well might be. That's the last North American hope in this event. MUFC on the Dire side. They're trying to carry Malaysia's pride. You have Dave on the Omni Knight. FCFC on the Dragon Knight. Winter, the Rubik, the captain, the strategic commander of this team, Ling, the Leshrac, and last but not least, TFG, the off-lane Nature's Prophet. Off the bat, Liquid rotating towards the Roshan pit. 5 heroes heading that direction, but will they actually look to go in here?
They don't really have anything to scout out MUFC's position if they know that they're very far away. In theory, they could possibly steal Roshan, but
It looks like they're probably just checking if MUFC is doing it, but MUFC, no such intentions. Very defensive.
Well, they're kind of inching towards... No, they're going to back off. So one thing to look forward to is these trees being destroyed. If it's an Ursa solo mid, your Wisp could just stay there and pull, but no, they are going to rotate as a defensive tri-lane. We're going to see a very standard OD mid, and of course, Beastmaster up top. Now, Beastmaster, it's a testament of Boba's skill on the offlane. He needs quick levels. Let's remind ourselves that MUFC pushes fast and pushes hard, so he needs his access at max as soon as possible.
Yeah, generally when you're against an offlane Beastmaster, you like to see the opposing team warding off the Ancients, trying to prevent him from getting any stacks, and also zoning him out the lane. He's not the best here at sneaking experience, and if you ward the Ancients, it can really limit him. But Liquid already placing a ward there. No attempt yet, but in comes Winter. He's going to place an Observer of his own. I believe it does block the camp, but spotted by Liquid. No D ward from MUFC, so this one probably will be quickly removed if they want to. For the time being, Liquid or MUFC going to be running defensive Omni Knight tri-lane. Good burst. It is worth mentioning that Purification actually is insane burst once you leveled up. Pure damage, it really hurts.
Yeah, it does. And obviously, of course, when your Ursa is right next to people attacking, and he just heals them back, it's really a double whammy. But let's look at the mid lane and talk about that. How well, or actually how badly will FCFC fare this lane?
Yeah, this is a pretty awful matchup for the Dragon Knight. He'll get some experience. He probably won't die early on. He's going to get out CS. That's a given. They're really banking on winning the other lanes and mostly just their mid-game prowess. TFG, off the bat, not blocking any pulls. It looks like he did earlier, but now we should be able to see Liquid go for some stacking if they want. And the ability for their supports to get level 6 really important because they have a Wisp, and you want that as fast as possible. So TFG, this camp can be pulled out. Did not fully stop it.
IXMI has also selected Frostbite as his level 1 spell. Keep in mind that you can jungle the Crystal Maiden with Frostbite. Very effective, and so far, not doing it just yet.
Yeah, Bulba came to the lane a bit late, so he actually had to use a decent chunk of his mana trying to clear off these trees. The reason you want to clear them, we'll have a quick pause here from lane, is that if you clear these trees, it's a lot harder for the enemy supports to jump you.
If you see them coming, it's hard for,
If you see them coming, it's hard for them to surprise you.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So obviously the mid lane going to go Liquid's way. The off lane probably going to go their way as well. Korok's getting good farm. Prophet's a very poor hero to contest in Ursa, because Ursa, even without the Poor Man Shield, has 6 base armor at level 2 now. And with the Poor Man Shield, you can't even scratch him. The other thing with Ursa is that he has higher than average base move speed. So once you get your boots, once you get your phase boots, you can basically run down the Nature's Prophet.
I think if he has boots and the Nature's Prophet does not, especially with tether movement speed increase, you just run him down. You get a stun in, you get an Earth Clap or Earth Shock, and then he's dead. So,
if you're new to Dota 2, if you haven't seen Ursa before, if you get too close to this guy, he will destroy you. He's probably the single highest damage output of any hero in the game for single target if left unchecked. Doesn't have any stuns, does need quite a few items in the mid game, but yeah, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Korok has a very good record on this here. I think he's played quite a few of those matches at TI3, and we're back underway. Still pretty early so far, but to me, I think Liquid are getting a bit more out of the lanes. For MUFC, no smokes up on these supports. That's a little surprising, and I think what it says is they really want to push this tier 1 early.
Yeah, they do. They just want to go for a kill on that Beastmaster, and before he even respawns, get a ton of damage on that tower. Now, on one side, you're farming your Ursa, which is just a mid-game beast. You get a Blink Dagger on this hero, or you get a Shadow Blade on this hero, and suddenly everybody dies. On the other side, you're farming in a sense, a very defensive hero on the Omni Knight. So I really am not sure particularly what this hero will do during the mid-game, even with farm.
Yeah, on the side of MUFC, they're stacking quite a few Ancients here, so they'll have access to clearing those off later on, but until their Dragon Knight hits level 11, they don't have much AoE. They won't be easy to kill off, so it's not to stack them. I would have liked to see him try and slow down the Wisp level 6 a little more, but he blocked the pull once, and it looks like now Fluff getting his free levels. Back into the jungle goes TFG. They're giving away Wisp level 6. They're losing the middle lane, but for MUFC, they picked an Omni Knight. They must have a plan.
I hope they do, because
otherwise they're going home.
I mean, you don't pick Omni Knight without a plan. Winter says they have some plans, and this could be a good one or a bad one.
Yeah, in the past, we've seen Omni Knight played a lot of different ways. I know when EG was experimenting with him, we even saw Demon take that hero to the off lane quite a few times, and truth be told, once Omni hits level 2 and he has Repel, you can even take it at level 1 if you need to. He is very hard to kill, but MUFC, run him as the safe lane farmer. What do you think Dave's going to go for here this game? Do you rush some sort of farming-oriented end? Do you go for quick Midas? Omni is very level dependent, or are you just rushing a mech? What's the style we're going to see from Dave?
He loves his kind of damage output style, so I'm expecting something like Phase Boot. You talked about the SNY Radiance. I'm not sure whether he's going to go down that full path, but whatever he does go, he got to make sure he has enough mana, because again, OD will zap you once with the Astral Imprisonment, and then you're basically done. So maybe you need a Soul Ring, maybe you need Arcane Boot. He definitely needs something.
Yeah, the one other nice thing about Omni that we haven't really gotten into yet is he does have Degen Aura, and that move speed slow, and the attack speed slow doesn't really matter against Ursa because he hits so damn fast anyway, it's kind of negligible, but the move speed slow could help counter the tether move speed, Ursa's natural base move speed, and allow his team to run away, live a little bit longer in these team fights. It's all theory crafting for now, though. Neither team really getting too aggressive. IX Mike, He's come over, he's de-warded the MUFC ward, blocking the Ancients, and now it looks like Bulba will start sacking. So far, the one area where MUFC are getting more is with their offlaners. TFG in the jungle, he's level 3, Bulba still not level 2, getting close, not getting much out of the offlane.
And there you go, Arcane Boots up here.
Winter could be our first blood. He's in a bit of trouble. There's a frostbite, and it probably will be. He lifts him up. He throws him down. He doesn't have a salve to sprout. It's not enough. First blood to Liquid.
First blood to IX Might. You gotta fear the beer. Now, but look at the top lane here. FU says, okay, you got our first blood. We're gonna go draw a glyph with our push. WTF pushing it with his heals. And Glyph is drawn out. I really think that Link could perhaps even get a tower out of this.
Yeah, it could be a very early tower. They don't have a Ring of Basilius. Generally, you do want that, but you've got the heal bombs available. The tower's definitely taking a lot of damage. And in comes TFG. Fast and hard they go. They do want to do it now because already Fluff and stuff. Level 4. This could be one of the fastest level 6 we've seen from a professional Wisp. He is having a fantastic time. And generally, this is why you want to contest that Wisp early on.
Yeah, you can see that Fluff and Subs making sure that he's stacking these camps. Once he hits level 5, he will use his level 3 spirits and basically blow up this camp and then gets level 6 off of that. So we're going to see Ursa Bear go crazy mode very soon. Speaking of Ursa Bear, he got his phase boot. He's going to be working something like a Vlad's, or if you want to go full on aggression, he could get Blink.
So I don't know if they're going to get a tier 2 yet, but the Glyph is down for Liquid, and with Edict they'll do a lot of damage. Lane already level 2 in that. The better early tower pushing ability, not as good defensively, but for MUFC, it really should be offense in the laning stage. If they don't get aggressive, the Wisp is going to punish them severely in the mid game. But overall, it's got to be advantage Liquid. Not only did they get the first blood, but their carries are farming exceptionally well. Already TC, Buckler online, an early mech for Liquid will really enable them to withstand the early aggression and take some fights. And you look at Korok's Ursa, the lead farmer this game, 500 gold up, already phase boots online, 44 CS, and he's just having a ball in this bottom lane.
Yeah, we said Dragon Knight's going to have a tough time on the mid lane. Look at the CS difference, 10 and 2 on your Dragon Knight, and TC knocking out a ballpark, 34 and 20 denies.
Again, this is expected. This is not a matchup that Dragon Knight can win. It's a matchup that the OD should crush. And when you do that, you're looking for the trade elsewhere. So far, I'm not seeing it, but if you're MUFC, DD
nice
deny. Fluff and Stuff is just toying with them now. He is not making it easy for MUFC.
Yeah, and he hits level 5, so that level 3 Spirit could start jungling. He's going to use it immediately. Now, once these Spirits pop, they just do a ton of burst damage, and I think they will be trying to pop it particularly over here.
Yeah, they do a little bit of damage when they pass through, but like you said, he'll be probably looking to pop them on the big camp. Looks like he wants both. Mike pulling it one way, Fluff the other, and they're both getting a lot of experience. For Team MUFC, are they getting enough in return? What should we look for from them next?
I think they just need to do more pushing. I mean, their lineup is built around that push. They only have got one tower so far. They're not really particularly good at killing either. Winter needs his boots of speed. He can pick up on the side shop. And the reason why he needs it is he have to walk up to the Beastmaster, lift him up, and then set up that kill.
For the time being, TFG finding some levels on the bottom lane, but the big timer, the hourglass, the sand's ticking down because Wisp one creep away from level 6. And you look at a lot of these MUFC heroes, even an Omni Knight, very vulnerable to the tether stun. If he doesn't get off a repel, if he's caught in it and Ursa just goes to work on him, he doesn't have Guardian's Angel yet, anyone could be easy prey, but I think the most likely target is going to be that Prophet or maybe the Dragon Knight mid.
Just for the disparity, WTF, your one-row farmer has not hit 6 yet, and Wisp, the 5 support has. So that's kind of the huge difference. I mean, if they do a relocate gank up top, can they in theory just kill everybody? Because there is no Guardian Angel just yet.
There's no Roar yet, and there's always the threat of a Prophet counter gank, so I think the safer play is to go on the Nature's Prophet, but it all depends on the position of MUFC, and that could change in a matter of seconds. Now Fluff, level 6, hiding in the trees, looking for an opening, but for the time being, not going. And I think this is where if you're Liquid, you don't have to force anything. MUFC, a great pushing composition, but you can counter that with split push, which they've got a pretty good lineup for, and with global ganking. So they're biding their time, they're waiting for the right opening, and meanwhile middle lane, our first smoke of the game from MUFC, it's their turn to get aggressive. They'll want a Rubik Lift or Dragon Tail to start this off, but there's no mana for the Dragon Tail now. Haste Rune available. Even if they claim this, Liquid are watching.
They can't. They just gank over the seal. If they are ganking...
Oh no, here we go. In they go. Haste Rune picked up by Lane. Held in position. They throw back TC, but there's no Dragon Tail. And here comes the Cavalry. Making a bear. Tetherstone on MCFC. Guardian Angel's in. It's not enough, though. One more hit. Down he goes. The first Guardian Angel of the game. Completely unsuccessful. And they go back to bottom, and they'll look to push.
You want to use that when you're hitting stuff. You want to use that when you're killing them, but when you use it as a defensive spell and run away, you're not going to run away from a phase boot and tether Ursa. He simply just moves way too quickly. Back in the bottom here, Korok. Tether up.
Yeah, bit of a sprout. Korok eating his way in. This pair wants a treat. He can't find it yet.
So his phase boot was on cooldown. If he was able to tango through or Quelling Blade through and then walk past the Furion, he would apply the tether stun and got the kill on him. But
yeah, couldn't get in range in time. The thing is though, Bulba's hit level 6 now as the offlane Beastmaster, and in general you look at Liquid and their levels, there's a level 3 Rubik for Winter on the side of MUFC. He needs a lot more to be effective. They're going in mid potentially. There's an Astral to start, IX Mike available for the follow-up, but when there's a repel in MUFC, the one thing you do have to be careful about against Omni Knight is not overextending. If you dive too far, that hero gets healed and repelled, the fight can really turn against you. So I like the way Liquid is playing this, patiently and slowly, spamming the Nova, spamming the axes, because here comes the push. Dragon Tail of TC, lifted up and thrown back into a heal bomb, blown up, but the trade is there, 1 for 1. FCFC in the front lines of Blink, a Plat, say hello to Fuzzy Wuzzy, TFG, caught in the sprout, now on to FCFC, going from bad to worse, the heal bomb, not enough, triple kill for Korok.
Is it done yet? Because they can actually still blink him. No, they will not make that chase. By the way, relocates back on, so if Fluff and stuff sees anybody running, he can't go for the kill. Meanwhile, Team Liquid going for the counter push. Glyph gets drawn out, but it just doesn't matter. With a chant of the crowd, USA, USA, Team Liquid are striking back.
I think they're rooting for MUFC. Team Liquid already the Blink Dagger, the Phase Boots online. That's a scary amount of farm to give an Ursa. And if you're Korok now,
they see profit top.
If he goes for a BKB, there's nothing MUFC can do when he jumps in. He's got his options here. But with this kind of farm on an Ursa, one of the most snowbally heroes in the game. If he has a good start, it tends to go from good to great. In they go middle lane. They'll start with an Astral. They're starting to set something up. Korok wants to leave, jumps on into FCFC, but a great lift throws him back into the tower. He gets stunned as well. Is it enough? He's low. He's not dead yet. Still alive, standing strong, and backing off is Ling. In the end, amazingly, no blood was shed that day.
It's a bad sign for MUFC when one hero dives your 4 against their tower and they don't even kill that Ursa. I mean, what are you going to do?
I want to go back to the levels. If Winter's level 6 and he can steal something, we're 11 minutes in. They had a safe tri-lane. In theory, he could be, but the early smoke going against them, if he's level 6, they get that kill with ease.
Or if DK had a better lane, if he has Strength Treads up, they get that kill as well.
Yeah, but that's not something you can count on against OD, so that's just not going to happen. Winter could be level 6, but TFG back into the jungle. So if you're MUFC now, you're running a push strat, and you can't really push, at least it seems they've been thwarted. What is plan B for them? Do they have one?
Plan B, keep farming, because right now the game just doesn't get better. If you push as 3 or 4, that relocate jumps on top of you, and you just lose that team fight. You got to make sure you get those levels. Jungle Winter, Jungle WTF, do something to make sure that you put up your levels, because if this game goes status quo, Liquid's got it easy.
Watch out, Bulba's hunting, wrapping around the tree line, Roar's gonna fly. There's a relocate available.
They don't need
Not being used yet. Yes, they are. They really want this kill, and they're gonna get it. TFG down, and Korok now says, let's go for a tier 1 or at least a camp. They're going to get some additional gold here.
Yeah, the level difference, I mean, if you look at the experience graph, it's not a really good side. 5,000 experience lead, that might be a kind of a useless number, but what it means right now, each hero is up by level 2, 3, 4 levels at a time. Korok's level 9 already.
Yeah, and it's not just the experience, it is the gold, because MUFC, if you want to run a push strat, there are some basic items you need. You'd like to have a mechanism. We don't see that yet. A Force Staff, an Urn, that would all be swell. They at least have the Urn on the Leshrac, but that's really the only good pushing item aside from Rena Basilius they have. There's no mech, there's certainly no pipe, no Force Staff either. Without those items, it's going to be hard. Mid lane though, TFG in a bit of trouble. He's gone in on TC, and now it could turn around against him. Where's that Korok? Not there yet. He's coming in though. No, bottom lane.
There's a Crystal Maiden in the front lines here, and the Dragon Knight's afraid to initiate on her. That's how far behind MUFC is right now.
And Korok's just solo pushing this bottom tower against a team with massive stun lockdown. There's always the threat of a relocate. If you want to go on him, you probably have to bring 5. And one thing that we don't often get to talk about with Ursa is not only is he a great hero killer, he's actually a very scary pusher. The enraged damage will work on towers. The Fury swipes will not, but he hits so hard and fast that you leave him alone, he will take some towers down.
I mean, even if he doesn't hit fast, like you can't just walk up an Ursa as a support hero and defend by yourself because he jumps you, earth claps you, and you're dead, right? So you got to send at least 2 or 3 to even defend that tower, and that's more advantage that Team Liquid is getting elsewhere.
Yeah, when you have a Blink Dagger, there's basically a line that you don't cross, and that line's around here, because if you do, and Korok sees you, and he wants to pounce, he definitely can. MUFC forced into a defensive position. The time will come soon when they'll have to 5-man. It's going to be a Force Staff for Dave, one of the better items in the game to deal with an Ursa, but they need a lot more than that, to me, before they can fight.
I mean, that Force Staff has been dropped basically instantly because Ursa kills people so quickly that if you're just a second behind, that person could be dead.
And for the time being, Liquid, full control of the map. I like the way they're playing this.
Relocates on TFG on the top lane. He's running with the Blink Dagger, the Earth Shock, and an easy kill. If you cannot farm in this jungle, where do you farm?
All of it set up by a beautiful ward by the supports of Team Liquid, leading 8-1. MUFC 0-14 in the group stage. They want their first win of the tournament. This would be the time to do it, but it doesn't look good right now. The Tier 1 top in jeopardy, and they're not getting a trade. They're not taking Roche. The Tier 1 for Liquid still stands. You're running a push strat, and you've gotten 1 tower. That just ain't going to cut it if you're MUFC.
Dire's top tower
CFC looking for strength threats as well as haste rate. If you get this one, maybe you could run away from a gank, but that's going to get spotted out. TC coming around to get the Astro imprisonment off.
Hasted up, heading straight towards the top lane. No, wrapping around, back towards mid. Just afraid to force fights, and the thing is, they still haven't dewarded that ward. You have to know there's something there. That Prophet got caught in the middle of his own jungle, but so far, it's just free opportunities for Liquid as soon as Relocate cools down in 30 seconds. And the other thing with their lineup is you don't just need wards to set up ganks. You have the Beastmaster Hawk as well. You can see Bulba moving that through the enemy jungle. Liquid is doing a fantastic job, not of just starting off hot, but of securing a further advantage and controlling the map.
Yeah, the Liquid coming out, or the items coming out from Team Liquid just shows how far they're ahead. Fluff and Stuff has a Vitality booster and a Arcane boost. You're not going to kill him. Our Crystal Maiden has a phase boot. Like, she is going to be dishing out DPS as the team fight progresses.
I gotta say, I don't think IX Mike has been watching Ake because there's no Crystal Maiden ultimate just yet.
Dire's bottom tower.
You could just beat them down, plus 24 damage.
Yeah, right click them to death. That's what Crystal Maiden's gonna be up to. We'll have to see it. Blade and a clap. Now on FCFC, healed up. It was a trap, and they turn it around in a hurry. Fluff on the run. In comes FCFC. Lane taking massive damage. Korok's bought back. Run away if you're MUFC. They're still fighting. Korok's here. He's into the fray. On to Lane they go. Blade, a clap. Gets stunned again. He just bought back, but he's standing strong. The heal bomb not enough. MUFC driven back 9-2 and trying to go it again. Roar on FCFC held in position, locked in place and brought down on the Winter. They're cleaning house. 3 dead, could be 4. Another heal, but the Vitality booster making the difference. A nice 4-step, but it seems inevitable.
Relocate, they want more. WTF in huge trouble right now. We need one more blink cooling down here, and WTF is going to go down. Team Liquid base Korok, triple kill, and a team wipe against Invasion MUFC. They don't even care about the Roshan right now. They want that tier 1 mid.
Yeah, you take the tier 1 mid, and with the kind of map control they have, MUFC won't even be able to leave the tier 2s. The tower falls, and now for Korok, a BKB is on the way. Myth will hammer up, and once he gets that, he will be God. The only thing,
back?
Yeah, he just bought back. They take a tier 1, 100 CS, 16.5 minutes in, 8-1-1. And the reason why is this guy right here, Liquid Fluff.
I mean, sometimes he's just looking for solo kill, but Fluff definitely had a huge part in it. He's also got 1,000 gold in the bank. Any guesses on what we're going to see? Rod of Atos, perhaps?
Whatever he wants, honestly. Could be a casual Vitality booster. They already have a mech, though, so if you're Fluff, your options are truly wide open at this point. If he wants to get a Rod of Atos, that's going to help set up Korok. There's so many ways for them to initiate. Give him another. Why the hell not? But it's a great casual item as well. I actually like the idea of him getting a BKB, because if Wisp gets a BKB, there's nothing MUFC can do to lock him down.
Yeah, we see players like Kuroki from Navi just love to rush a BKB on a 5-hero support like Wisp, and it's really, really effective. Like you say, if he doesn't die, he's going to actually help your carries you a ton of damage. MUFC smoked up for a gank. I just don't know whether this one will work, because once that gank's going to happen, Relocate is going to be back up, and Ursa is going to be joining that fray.
Wrapping around, the tier 1 mid tower is up as well, so everybody can be here. Even Bulba can TP in. I thought they would go top. They had just seen Bulba there a bit earlier, and if you go top, there's only a Relocate. There's not the additional TP, but instead, if they risk a dive mid, 5 heroes will descend on this lane. They better get the jump. The problem is they don't have a great hero to jump. They don't have a Blink Dagger. Massive pings coming out, and Liquid have spotted this. They'll back off.
Yeah, I mean, they really can't get the kill on TC. They saw his items. He's got 4 staff, he's got his mech, and it just really is difficult to find that kill. Korok still hasn't taken the Aegis yet. I'm quite surprised on that, but not that he needs it, because he really hasn't been dying aside from that one death in the mid lane.
Team Liquid, they narrowly missed out on the upper bracket here with something to prove. So far leading 13-2, over 12k gold, into the Roche pit. No, past it they'll go, wrapping around towards the bottom lane. BKB for Korok, I believe it's on the way, indeed it is. And now, if MUFC try to fight, they do have an Omni Knight ult, so they can probably run, but that's about it. They're not killing this Ursa, they're not split pushing and getting much of a trade so far. And here comes the defense.
Well, they did actually kill Ursa in the last engagement, but Beastmaster is going to open up with the roar.
Roar onto FCFC, locked in place. There was a forward step forward. Here's your Omni ult. TC, he's got a mech. He's got his ult. He pops it all. Here comes Korok. One down, two to follow. Fluff with an unbelievable initiation. IX Mike gets off a full duration Crystal Maiden ultimate.
He's got the blood. He sees WTF. Nice force step up in the high ground. He's going to survive Korok. Blink on cooldown, not going to make that dive, but that was 3 kills and a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, IX Mike got off a full duration Crystal Maiden ultimate. Freezing field, very underrated. And we saw it again there, slowing everyone, doing damage to everyone. And now that this tier 2 has fallen, with a few heroes dead, if Liquid want to transition directly into Roche, there's pretty much nothing MUFC can do to stop this, especially because Omni Knight ult is down, and that is so essential for MUFC.
Korok's going to kill it in like 5 seconds with everybody helping around. There you go, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, Ursa, he starts off slow against Roshan, but Fury Swipes does work on him. Every time you're hitting him, it's hurting more and more, and you can see the damage, additional damage, stacking up. The Roshan melting. Soon it will fall. If you're Liquid now, not only do you have the great global ganking lineup as Roshan falls to Team Liquid, but they also have a good pushing lineup. OD with the mech and Beastmaster with Inner Beast. Liquid, I think they'll start going for some tier 2 soon.
Yeah, they are just a lot better than MUFC in basically anything because their hero lineup, they're just so far ahead. I mean, if you look at these gold and experience graph, it's just really, really depressing. 15,000 both in gold and experience. Item pickups here. Beastmaster with the Axe Scepter. No matter where you are on the map, you are now also in danger from the Beastmaster. And lastly, there's going to be a Blast pickup. Why is this Wisp so rich?
Well, when Fluff and Stuff is sitting 3-0 and 10,
yeah.
He's participated in 13 of 16 kills, and he hasn't died, by the way. Of course he's going to be Rich Lumi, of course.
Well, they're going to be looking for a little bit more. Relocate is back up, and Korok is just melting creeps.
Bulba microing his courier. He's got an Axe. They're probably looking to jump here. Remember, there's an Aegis on the Ursa, rather, and Roar on to Dave. Relocate comes. Can they get off anything in time? 4 staffed away. It's Lane who takes the fall. Repels up. Dave trying to run out. The Sprout's not on the mark. Korok still chasing. Stopping for a second. Popping, and now blinking forward.
Nice
Lifted and thrown back. Good defensive play by Winter. Buying time. The Axe is just off the mark.
DK also make a TP out, so very, very good defense coming out from MUFC, but you see...
The problem, though, is their good plays are just staving off deaths. They're not accomplishing anything beyond
You're
that.
not getting a kill. You're not taking down a tier 1 tower. You're not doing too much. Although Nature's Prophet is going to try to make something happen, you got to be very careful. There is a Glyph still available on Team Liquid, and here comes a TP.
There's no relocate, but a TP in will do the trick in a pinch. TC could go for a force here. Won't bother. And Liquid now grouping up towards mid. They'll only have 4 for this. TC just TPing bottom. Roar. Blink. An initiation onto FCFC. Chopped down. This Bear's got some big claws. The tier 1 mid denied as well. Boba caught out. A slightly overextended. Ling. He does have... Oh, that doesn't matter. Now he's standing alive. The Omni Knight ult deployed. Liquid just going to wait this out and then reinitiate. And here they go. Fluff back in. Ursa back in. Dave in trouble. The stash is doing work. And Korok lifting pretty hard here, jumping forward. 3 dead. It looks like there might be more. Blink. Tether stun. No, doesn't need it. Mega kill for Fluff. And if you're MUFC, you're pretty much beat at this point.
That was probably the best ultimate that we have seen from Omni Knight. They used it. They were able to basically chase for a lot longer. They were able to do a lot of damage. But because they're so out-itemed, they're so out-leveled, it just doesn't matter at this point.
The whole premise of the MUFC lineup is to be ahead all game. Take towers early, slow down the Wisp with your Prophet Treants. This is a lineup that's meant to play from ahead, and against some lineups it could come back, but not against this Liquid lineup, not without perfect play. And to be honest, against Ursa with a Blink Dagger at 10 minutes, perfect play is nearly impossible. And I just like the way Liquid's playing it. Every time that the Omni Knights pop, they just back off, they wait it out, then they reinitiate, and MUFC just don't have the damage to kill anyone during that ult.
And right now they don't have their best spell. It's down for 82nd on the Guardian Angel, so without that ultimate, they basically just can't even defend their tier 3 tower at this point. I think Team Liquid senses a weakness. They're going to just go for the win right now.
Liquid, if they want to go for the GG, I think they've just about got what they need. Over 20k gold. Experience going their way. The items are just enormous. Vlad's up on Fluff. It's been there for some time. The Ags on the Beastmaster, and they probably have more coming here. We actually take a look at how much gold they have left. 4,000 on Korok. If he wants a heart, he's just about got it. And he's ready to go. Enraged up. Just perched and waiting.
They're waiting, smoked up right in front of the enemy base. They're waiting for somebody to come out, but nobody is brave enough to do so.
The problem for MUFC is even though they're not getting caught, that's still getting them farther and farther behind. Because Liquid are farming their jungle. You can see them clearing out the neutral camps. They're pushing all the lanes. MUFC not getting trapped, but despite not dying, they're still falling even farther behind.
Yeah, right now MUFC's playing not to lose, and that's not going to win you a game. They got to play for the win, but I don't really know what is that method.
It's tough for them at this point. It really is. They can't leave the base. They're an okay defensive lineup. They do have some spam. Well, actually, not that much because this was a pushing track. So Lane maxed out the Edict, has no points in Lightning Storm. Winter does have a max Fade Bolt. They've got decent counter push, but it's not going to help you too much. When Korok says, screw your nukes, I'm blinking on top of your entire team.
Yeah, I think the best thing that MUFC could do right now is wait out the Aegis on Korok, and once Korok just go man modes on you, survive it with your Guardian's Angel and hopefully kill him. It's a lot of ifs, but when you're down by 18 kills, there's nothing for you to really predict and strategize too much.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing they do have going for them is the Nature's Prophet. Just such a good hero to stall the game, but they have to stall it for a very long time if they want to stay in this one. Liquid just still getting more off the map. There's no Midas on the Prophet. TFG spamming his ult on cooldown. They're trying to hang on, and I think Liquid have had just about enough of this. Just a minute left, and maybe looking to push.
Great steal by Winter. That's another very good defensive spell to actually deal with the person.
It buys them some time, but you can't Astral everyone. You can't always lift Korok, and you can't do much against his BKB. If you Astral one, the other will just become the target. The Omni Knight ult, if you're Liquid, you probably want to bait that out and then back off. Still no stuns coming. TC and Korok banging on the front door. MUFC, their base is under siege. This bear has left hibernation and he's hungry. He's trying to eat the MUFC up. Here we go. Straight into the fray. The Wisp Orb splashing through. The Tier 3 has fallen 25 minutes in. MUFC in a disastrous position. This could be it. Look for the leap. Nothing yet from Korok. Still hanging back. No commitment, but he's thinking about it. Roar jumps in. Good Astral, but is it enough? No, it's not. TC delivers, and the Omni Knight ult far too late to do anything but delay the inevitable. MUFC overrun, outplayed. They gave away a Wisp, and they just had no answer for it.
Korok too big, too fast, too strong. GG comes out from MUFC, and the USA crowd in the Battle Royale Hall is just going wild.
They're on their feet here. The Korok sign is up. His fans are out in force. Liquid, they wanted to be in the upper bracket. Their work is hardly done yet, but they get off to a good start here, and they take down MUFC to stay alive. North America's last hope has won a game.
If you're LGD China, are you afraid? Because when Team Liquid went to China and just hub stomped them with a Slark, now they're doing it again here today with Ursa. Are you afraid?